What's up, Gunpla modelers? This is Strider Prime bringing you a new edition of Gundam Customs, and today I am going to build this. The 1/100 scale Grimgerde from the Iron Blooded Orphans animated series. Yeah, I know, many of you were expecting the Efreet, and as much as I would love to build the Efreet, I have decided not to build it for reasons that I cannot explain. I have something special to do with that Efreet, and I want to build it next month. Right now, I want to start building this guy first, and maybe building another kit. But I will build the Efreet, so don't worry. Please be patient with me. There's a reason why I cannot build it, but for now, let's work on this guy. This is actually a fairly new kit that just came out. I really like the overall design of this mobile suit. Unlike, it's a little bigger than the Greys. I never got the 1/100 scale Greys, and I was thinking of getting it, but I thought I really enjoyed the look of this kit and of the mobile suit. Excuse me. Remember the episodes? Well, even though the episodes were limited, I did like it. It was really cool, and I was saving myself to getting this kit. I was tempted to buy the 144 scale version, but obviously, ever since I built the Barbados, how big it is and how well detailed it is, even though this is not a master grade, it's still a very good detailed kit. So I want to try, I want to start building with this guy, and I hope you guys enjoy the series of builds for the Grimgerde. So let's take a look at the box, of course, for those of you who are playing. Oh, by the way, I got this at Gundam Planet. It retails at 2,500 yen. I'll put a link to Gundam Planet's site so you guys can order it. It's a little bit more, but it's well worth it. It's a nice big box. Same box size as the Barbados when I got it. You see some extra hands here. You got that machine gun that looks like the Zaku machine gun, of course. Different look to the back. Interesting. That's nice. It has the same mono eye sensor, kind of like that was on the Greys. Here's that shield thing. Now, of course, the most unique feature is the two swords. Here's the rear and the front of the Grimgerde. Very nice. Very nice. The inner frame parts. This should be a fun kit to build. Let's look at the contents for a second. Alright, so we see the blades, which is painted in, I'm sorry, not painted, but molded in gold. Very nice. We have two clear blue parts. This is obviously for the face. Now here's my first kind of disappointment. At first, when I was looking at the production photographs of the Grimgerde, I thought these were, like regular tubing. Correction. Like, yeah, I knew it was plastic tubing, but the way it looked like it, I thought it was regular, like tubing, like either a rubber or like a rubber tubing type thing. But I see it's all plastic, molded in plastic. Okay, that's something to be aware of. And then we have a darker, kind of like it's a black color, not a charcoal, but it is definitely a different tone than what I'm looking at right here on the next part, which is the machine gun parts. So there's two tones there. You have one darker tone, and this is the charcoal tone. Alright, it's good to see that. Then we have the parts for the armor. Assuming that is for the forearm. Obviously that's the shield, the shoulder. Don't know what that is. That could be the foot, part of the foot, or the legs. We have the parts for the shield, hands, head. This could be for the torso, waist. Then looking at the remaining armor parts, and I'm looking based on the box art here. Obviously, shield. This one has to probably be the skirt armor. That's skirt armor. That's skirt armor. That's skirt armor. Oh no, that's chest armor. This is the back skirt armor, side chest armor parts. All right. And then we have more remaining charcoal parts, which, if I'm not mistaken, we'll review the manual in a moment. If this follows standard IBO manual procedures, chances are I'm building the inner frame first. So, put this to the side and review the manual. Just give me a second to adjust the camera a bit. Alright, the manual is the same as the box art, of course. Brief description of the character and the mobile suit. Then we have the list of parts. I don't see not one part that you do not need, except for a certain amount of polycaps that you don't need. And yes, as you can see here, we're building the inner frame first. Torso, followed by the head, followed by the arms, followed by the legs and the feet. The feet is actually not an inner frame part, as I'm reading here. It looks like it's an outer frame. The armor parts make up the feet, but that's fair enough. I'm going to build it just so we can get a grasp of height and scale. And then the body armor is being, the assembly of the body armor, the head armor, the armor for the arms and the shoulders, the leg armors, waist armor, how to open and close the face, the assembly of the machine gun, the shield itself, which of course is for the swords. Oh, interesting. So at first I thought, and mind you guys, when I look at these kits, I don't want to look at anything online until I get the kit. So I try to surprise myself as best as I possibly can. But I'm looking at how the swords. At first I assumed the swords was kind of like a sword where it comes out of the shield vertically, or is it horizontally? I forgot. Comes out, like a blade, not a switchblade. What would be a perfect example? Kind of like in Assassin's Creed, where they had that knife under the gauntlet and it pops out. That's what I assumed this was the case for the shield, but this one is where the sword swings out. You know what? I watched IBO. I should remember that, but I did not. I guess I'm going to have to go back and see that episode. But clearly you can do that with the shield, and of course you can take the sword off the shield and put it on the hand, so it can have one hand holding it and the other arm holding the other shield, which holds the sword. So yeah, this is a pretty decent looking kit. It looks very nice, very unique. Some people were knocking this mobile suit up, but I really enjoy how it is. Here's the paint guide of what paint I would need to use for this kit. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about painting. Now then, what am I going to do with this kit? Many of you are probably thinking, clad it. No. I really, even though I really enjoyed building my Freedom Gundam, doing Eloclad paint on every kit is not a good idea. You have to take your time on other things. And I don't want to make it shiny. I actually wanted to give it a little bit of, how can I say this? A little bit of wear. Even though I learned a lot with the Barbados when I built it a few months ago, could have been done better. And hopefully I can try to experiment that on this kit. And experimentation is something that I always like to try on, on my channel. Whether it works or not, I don't know. But I have to try. And try again and try. So, with this guy, let's work with what we have. Now, for the whites, I'm going to use MS White. It should be sufficient enough, because it is an off-white color. Kind of like that. For the red, I was going to use Russet number 81. This is a darker red tone. Very nice color. I know this is more of a creamy red. Obviously the red is on Char's mobile suits, but not something that I want to use. Now for the charcoal colors, I'm going to use German Gray. I ran out of gunmetal from Eloclad, so that's something I'm going to need to order. I said that there was some darker colors, which is black, so I'm going to use a standard black color right here. The basic color is right there. The swords, I could easily Eloclad that. That should be fine. Maybe I should do that. But as I was reviewing the paints that I have, I said, you know what? Let's try some other paints, or maybe try some other ideas. And lo and behold, I forgot that I purchased this set of Mecha and Robot colors from MIG. Let's open this up. Alright, so we have the yellow, which not something, I don't want to paint the sword yellow. I want to use regular gold, so we'll omit that. Obviously we don't need blue. Now we have this regular red color. Actually, let's shake it up a bit. Take a sample, one of my cardboard samples from a Zaku. See how it is. Just one drop should be fine. And it's a good shade of red. Obviously with the cardboard reflecting, it doesn't give you the overall look to it, but I kind of like it. Compared to Rosette, as you can see, guys, I like to do things ad hoc. I actually don't want to use, I want to use that, but where's my toothpick? A billion toothpicks, and now I don't see not one of them. That's beautiful, beautiful. Oh, whatever. Use this. It has to be mixed. I should have another bottle, because I thought I bought two of these. I always did like this red color. Oops. See, I really like that shade of red. I really do. But now I'm thinking, hold on a second. Now, like I said, I'd like to do things ad hoc. Maybe we can use the best of both worlds. Because I was originally planning to do is paint the red parts black using using this one, and then paint the red over it, just leaving enough black shade inside to form a appreciating. But maybe if I apply this over this, since this is an acrylic-based paint, you know, you can't paint lacquer over acrylic. It has to be the other way around. Acrylic over lacquer. I wonder if we can do a lighter shade of tone over this darker red. So we have the black pre-shading, the dark red as a base, and then a second lighter tone base for the red, for this other red. What do you think of that? Yeah, what do you think of that idea? So that could be a good idea to do that feature. So we'll keep that here for now. And by the way, I said ad hoc, I said audible, you know. Now, there's this light brown gray color, and then the coal gray, and maybe doing a mixture of both could be a good idea on the umbilical, on the white umbilical, and not use this. So we'll pull that to the side. We'll add two of these colors. Actually, let's review these colors a bit. So put one drop there. You gotta shake these because this thing is a little agitator inside where it'll mix it for you. So I don't know if you could see it on camera. Obviously, you see this one has this has a brownish tone to it, and it's a little darker than this one, where it's a little more snowy, coal gray, as it says. So I'll have to experiment on these two, see how it is. Alright, so fair enough, we'll put that to the side, that's good. The next color is the medium gray, gunship gray. Wonder if that would be a good idea to use this. I don't like to use lacquer-based paint on inner frame parts. Even though I use the Elaclad 2's gunmetal on inner frame parts, it's a bit forgiving because it's thinned out. Sometimes I don't I had problems with lacquer-based paint before, but this one should be a good pattern. A good pattern. Yeah, I kind of like that. Alright. So we're going to try these. We're going to try these series of paints and see how it comes out for the Grimgerde. Now, I also have another set of paints here. These paints from Valilla. For those of you who remembered, I got this at the MosquitoCon as well. And let's see here. I already talked about using the black. Since there's very little black, I'm not going to use this. There's another cold gray. Cold gray. Oh, the one thing about these paints is it says non-metallic metal. You know, that's a good thing. Is it metal? Or is it simulates metal? Let's find out. Let's try this color. Came out as a paste type thing. This is a lighter tone of gray compared to the other one, but I'll save this for another day. This is I like this color better than this, so we'll save that. We also have, let me see, heavy brown, sepia, and yeah, no, you know what, we're not going to use these. Because here's the thing, when I was reviewing the manuals for this, you have to use series of different types of paints to simulate this gold-plated version, because so it looks like gold, but it's not. So these are good paints that I'm going to use, but not for this kit. So, and all the whole thing fell. I'll pick it up in a minute. Actually, I'll pick it up right now. But yeah, that is pretty much what I got for these. Oh, thank God I had the guard there. Otherwise, this thing would have been rolling all the way to the back. Alright, so we got all this. Missing one. Alright, so that is pretty much all the colors that I have for this kit that I'm going to use. I'm going to begin the assembly of the inner frame, of course, so give me a second while I clean this table a bit, and we will begin building the 100 scale Grimgerde.